who fought so hard to become Speaker of the House, like went through like 13, maybe even 15 different votes like the first time, just for him to get ousted, and then they got like they might get Jim Jeffries to do it now, but who knows? Like it's like a crapshoot, and it's insane over there. It's just pretty much a joke at this point.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm not a politics type of person, so
Mhm.
my views are quite not there. I should just say. I think that's the easiest way to put it. Um, but while we wait for Stryker Dragoon to join us, we're actually going to just jump into one of the first topics of the show because this part is all me. Um, so New York Comic Con was this past weekend,
How about it?
and it was awesome, but also felt a little stale. To me, I don't know. There's something about the merch not necessarily being as, I guess you could say, captivating as it used to be. Like it wasn't like I want to just grab everything. Um, Granted, it is also probably my like I believe seventh New York Comic Con, so a lot of the stuff was also real similar to me too. Like familiar, I should say. Um, I also got some interviews done, which if y'all keep looking at the socials, they will be up soon.
Mm-hmm.
I saw an awesome Fiend and Alexa Bliss. Got an interview with them. Shout out to my guy Chris. He goes every year. He cosplays as somebody different in the wrestling world every day. So of Comic Con. So he was Razor Ramon, Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk to be exact. Shawn Michaels, which I think he does every year because he has a badass Shawn Michaels. And the last one I believe was the Brood Edge. So, and not like the Brood Edge that we saw recently. I mean like 90s Edge and Christian, actual Gangrel. So that was actually pretty dope. Um, I got this dope ass Sonic hoodie, which I'm very happy about. I don't have any chocolate brown clothing, so so I'm happy I got this. And shout outs to Boondocks Bootleg. Great company. They make great clothes, and they are actually they do have a deal with Boondocks. So this is officially licensed merch that they have. They had dope hats. They had a hat which I should have got. They had a hat of a pimp named Slickback. Is like the trucker hat with the square in the middle, but it was a pimp named Slickback. Like I said, they have fire hoodies. They had a fire Letterman. Um, I can't remember his last name. It's killing me right now. Gary Anthony. The gentleman who's the voice of Uncle Ruckus was there with them. Um, Layla Gray was there, which I saw. I thought that was pretty cool. Mercedes. I didn't do her panel or the signing, but that was pretty cool. Something that kind of got me a little upset, and I don't think it's anybody's fault, but there was no wrestling panels this year. That one caught me a little off guard, honestly. It's Comic Con. Usually there's a wrestling panel or two, and there was nothing. So be on the lookout next year because your boy has plans. Your boy has plans. And as we continue to speak about Comic Con, there he is. Wait, is he there? There he is.
There he is.
Out here showing the guns.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Trip to the gun show. We have the Magnum PI mustache going on today. I see.
Had to
Hey,
go
it'd
to
be
a
like
wedding, so I don't necessarily go to the barber that often. So
Right.
had to line it up myself.
I was about to say you had to get the little razor. You got
Yeah,
get real close?
I got a whole set up at home, so I do what I need to do when the time comes.
As every man should.
Absolutely.
So now that he's here, gentlemen, let's do our typical introductions. As you know, I am your man, K Marvel. not here is our brother Quiet Storm.
That's right. Next one that comes on the screen, that'd be me. That'd be me, right?
That'd be me.
That'd be me.
And
Yep.
me, the sweaty, gun showing, usual Dragon Ball Goku Friday.
Nah, that shirt's fire. That shirt's fire.
So apparently one of the arms ripped. So I say, you know what? I'll just make it a muscle shirt and just cut the end. So
smart. And we are 3 of your 4 corners of commentary. So, but yeah, man, Comic-Con was pretty dope. Usually is. I went all 4 days as I usually do. Extremely exhausted. But you know, it is what it is. That's how it goes when you're in your element. I tell people all the time, this is pretty much my Christmas. This is one of my favorite holidays of the year. Don't care what y'all think. It's one of my being a keyword holidays. And my daughter and I actually went to we saw the Percy Jackson panel.
Nice.
So that was actually really good. I'm really excited to see it. It comes out, I believe,
next month. December
20th. So yeah, man, I'm really excited. I'm really excited for the show. Edge is playing Ares. Oh, excuse me, not Edge anymore. Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland is playing Ares, which is pretty cool. And
I mean, technically, that is his act. That is what he goes as an actor as well. So
I mean, that is his name.
But no, that's what I'm saying. That's you're correct in saying Adam Copeland.
Oh, but yeah, I think I'm really excited for the show. We got to see 3 sneak peeks. We saw the first 7 minutes, which was actually really good. We saw a small part of the Minotaur scene. If you guys watched the movies or read the books, you know what I'm talking about. But we saw a small part of the beginning of the Minotaur scene, with him chasing them, which was pretty sweet. And we saw the capture the flag scene. So yeah, it looks really good. It looks like they definitely pulled right out of the book. The 2 writers, excuse me for forgetting their names, but they actually played a heavy hand in the making of the first season. So yeah, I'm like I said, I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be a good show. A lot of people who saw the movies wasn't really feeling the second one, but once again, it kind of is what it is in my eyes. But it was good. It was good. I'm trying to think what else. There was a giant Gear 5 Luffy. If y'all follow Mr. Marvel 87, which is me, I will also be posting some of the pictures that I took at Con 2. So they had a giant Gear 5 Luffy, they had giant Goku. They were still doing Dragon Ball superhero stuff, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, I said that right. What else was there, man? Like I said, this Sega Hype Land had a great section. You could also play Sonic Superstars, which actually looks really good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It looks phenomenal. We didn't get a chance to play it, but I saw some of the gameplay that people were doing, and it was really good. It was really good. Man, Foley was there, Rikishi was there, Powerhouse Hobbs was there.
Mercedes Monet dressed as Woody.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Jesse. There. My bad.
No, she was Woody.
Look more like Jesse.
I know, but she claimed, but she said it was Woody.
Oh.
Also, I actually met Marv Quinn at a Battle Club show. So shout out to Battle Club. But I actually got to meet Isaiah and I got to meet Isaiah and Daniel Garcia. So that was pretty dope.
Nice.
It was quick, just like I appreciate what y'all do. But yeah, man, Comic-Con is always.
Was he doing the dance?
No, he wasn't doing no damn dance. The man was enjoying himself.
I mean, that could be a part of enjoying himself.
Yeah, no, he was good. He was good. Um, but yeah, man, look, Comic Con is always something fun to go to. I highly suggest everybody go at least once. And you honestly, you really just need to go one day. But yeah, Comic Con was
Friday or
fire.
Saturday is usually good. Sunday's best if you want to get sales and figures and stuff like that.
Yeah, or I mean, honestly, if you could go on a Tuesday or on a Thursday, excuse me, it's also a lot calmer, so you can really just be able to take everything in, which is good too. But yeah, man, listen, and if y'all do want to go, just know I'll be there next year. So, so just let me know, and we will figure it out. We will figure it out. Um,
Hopefully, all four of us could get a chance to be there next year.
yeah, we figure it out. It's life be life, and you know what I mean. Um, but outside of that, let's get into the wrestling. We're gonna start with this. Does Tony Khan need help? The reason why, so we ask because it's not just him personally, right? It's more so as a whole when it comes to AEW, PR, um, uh, in both wrestlers and his Twitter page, apparently, because the man's been going off. Um, but PR, story, writing, what what type of moves can be made to help make AEW a better product?
Somebody should take his phone. No, um, I would say that he probably does need a little bit more. And again, we don't fully know like how this business is being ran, but I would suspect that he probably needs a little bit more guidance as far as like booking, perhaps. And I think guidance is even a dirty word, but I would say like maybe another set of eyes on what he's doing as a booker or something along those lines, because and also just somebody to take his phone. Like honestly, like the stuff is like kind of cringeworthy. The fact that he's like going off, I'm like he's paying like attention to like cage match rankings and stuff. I'm like, dude, aren't you a billionaire? Like, don't you have money to count? Like, who cares what anybody on cage match thinks? You know,
That was it.
that's all I got for so far. Somebody else would like to present a point. Like, this
Um,
do all the talking.
as for me, Tony, just I know you're taking everything personal now because you feel that everything is done, everything is a shot at you and stuff like that. But sir, WCW didn't beat WWF at the time by you know having social media and doing the damn thing like you're doing. No, they just proceeded as usual. They took little digs here and there. That's great, but business is business. You're in a space that was heavily dominated by one company for a very long time, especially in the United States. You are an up and coming company, or still, up and come. I would still say up and coming, even though it's been what 5 years, 4 years, I think, right? 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
Y'all still got a lot of growing to do. Y'all have a lot of veterans. Y'all have a lot of I would say a lot of great talent. Sometimes to some people's dismay, because it's a plethora of great talent across AEW and ROH, but it's all under your brand, sir. Um, I would say literally just lay off social media for a bit. I get that you are checking every single little bit of things you can find to say you beat WWE with. But you got to realize that WWE is basically Big Brother. They just signed this deal with Endeavor. They're getting more money, more deals, more this, more that as it comes. They are treated as the premier wrestling brand, even when we haven't agreed with majority of the things that's happened throughout the history of the company. But you have to realize when it comes to a business, business is business. You have to what does the Bible say, Sir Professor Stretch? I think it is when you're a child, when you're an adult, you put away childish things,
Oh yeah,
or something
yeah,
of that
something
sort. I'm
along those lines.
paraphrasing,
Yeah,
Hey,
but
hey, wait, hold on. I know I understand your quote and shit. No, never mind.
what? Go ahead, you stop them. Well,
We're not gonna have that
no,
conversation.
no, no, no. Just,
Nah,
just,
I
just,
don't want to. I
just hear
don't
me
want to do
out.
it.
Just
Now
hear
go
me
ahead,
out.
finish. No, finish.
It's gonna come full circle. Just hear me out. So they say when you're an adult, you put away childish things. So now you're an adult. You're in a big man's world now. You run a football team. You
barely,
run a soccer team slash football team.
barely again.
You run an actual American football team. Now you're running a wrestling business. You're feeding the IWC all of these tidbits, all of these gems, and you have a set core crowd behind you that is only strictly riding with AEW. They don't want to hear anything about anybody else. And it's the same with a lot of WWE people. It's the same with New Japan. It's the same with MLW. There's the same with ROH. There's the same with all these other companies. You have fans all over the place. Just because you want to beat Big Brother so badly, you can do that and you don't have to mention their name. You're signing legends from their company because they say they want to work here, they want to work with new talent, they want to do things they haven't done before because WWE is on their own island. They don't treat anybody else important. Occasionally you'll see them do something with Impact. Occasionally you'll see them mention New Japan or mention Stardom or all these other places because they're trying to build these relationships. But you have to remember it takes time. You're now solid with a New Japan relationship. You should be doing way better as a booker. You should be doing way better as a promoter. On social media, you should be even though you lost, congratulate them. Take the high road. You feel that they're not going to see you as competition now because you're doing good, you're going for bigger stadiums, you're doing big things. Everything is a brag. Everything is a brag on both sides. But you got to know when to,
Fold them.
go forward. Yeah, I'm not even folded. I wouldn't even say fold. You just have to
I was
pick your
just about to
moments.
stop.
Pick your moments. Yes, you broke the record, or you have the best record since what was the last pay per view to get that high of an
Well,
attendance?
technically,
Oh, it didn't count, right?
apparently that was false information. Now, I'm not going to spread rumors, but this is only what I've read.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that number that they said that was at Wembley was not the actual number.
Yeah,
It wasn't 81,000. I think it was like
the turnstile.
75,000 or
Yeah,
something like
they're
that.
talking about the
Yeah,
turnstile count,
right.
which is vastly different from paid attendance. So
Exactly. So remember, people, that there are if they follow the turnstile count, because not everybody who pays a ticket ends up going to the show.
Right.
So they could be right when it comes to paid ticket sales,
Mm-hmm.
but actual attendance could be a different number. So that's and look, let's be honest, right? What number are you going to go with? If it was me, I'd go with the ticket sales number. It makes sense from a business aspect,
Right.
right? But here's my thing, and sorry to cut you off,
No, you're not
Strike.
cutting me off. It's a segue because I know it's getting
Um,
long at the tooth.
no, you're good.
Go ahead.
I think first and foremost, I think there needs to be a outside PR management group that goes into the company. That's number one. Something that is not involved in wrestling. And that PR group has to be something along the lines that helps with, um, like the media scrums, that helps with the social media aspect, that helps on a lot of different levels, because it seems, and once again, this is what I'm saying, it seems like there aren't enough there's nobody regulating, right? And that right there is where the problem lies. And I think I've said this before, not only on this show, but on other shows, that it also seems like there's no respect. There's no respect for Tony Khan. Now people can like him, and that's fine. I'm not saying don't like your boss, but I think there's an extremely blurred line when it comes to Tony is my friend and Tony is my boss. Okay. Like it seems like Tony doesn't put his foot down when he needs to put his foot down. And it's okay. Listen, I'm fine with you being a boss and having, your employees as friends. That's not necessarily an issue, especially with the type of heart that Tony Khan has. Like, that's something that I feel like people don't talk about enough, is that the man does have a huge heart. But Stretch is over here writing a book. You hear that? But there has to be that there has to be that middle ground, right? There has to be that fence where you're like, all right, I'm on this side, but right now I need to be on this side. And I need to explain to you why I cannot have you cut me off, or why it seems how it's perceived. Like, he's so worried about his image or the AEW's image that you have to explain to your people how things are perceived from an outside perspective. If you're really looking at Twitter and you're really listening to these podcasts, then and everybody is saying something similar, then obviously, and I won't say everybody, but if there's a lot of people that's saying similar things, then obviously you need to reevaluate. There has to be something.
I also think like there's a little bit more context to be had too. I agree wholeheartedly when he gets on Twitter and he starts going on his rants. He looks like a little petulant little child, right? That withstanding, I think it's cringeworthy. I think most people think it's cringeworthy, so I'm not even going to harp on that. But I also think that a little bit of the context that's missing here is a lot of people WWE is the big juggernaut, right? They're too big to fail at this
Absolutely.
point. Like it would take something absolutely cataclysmic to knock down the WWE.
That's like saying McDonald's will fail.
Right. Exactly. Like McDonald's could literally be chopping up horses and serving them tomorrow and tell us that, and people will still go to McDonald's. But I think that part of the discourse here is because for a long time, the only wrestling owner that we've got to know is Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Or Ted Turner, even if you want to compare, Ted
or
Turner.
Barely. We didn't even really
know Ted. You don't
like
really
that.
care about Ted Turner the same way you do Vince McMahon, right? He's nowhere near as actively involved like at WCW. I might have seen Ted Turner on WCW television one time.
Maybe twice.
Maybe twice. But with that said, the only point of reference that we have is okay, this is how a wrestling owner should act, or this is how a wrestling owner is Vince McMahon, which does Tony Khan no favors as far as that big, rugged image, of how you're supposed to put your foot down. This is my company. I don't give a damn what anyone else says or whatever.
Absolutely.
So even if he doesn't have that in him, I don't think it's necessarily fair for us to compare him to Vince McMahon personality wise. There's not a lot of Vince McMahon fans out there as far as that, which I think is, I'm prefacing when I say this because I think this term is stupid. That whole alpha male, super masculine personality, it does him no favors. If that's the only point of reference we have is a wrestling owner and we're expecting Tony Khan to live up to that, he's never going to do that.
but to counterpoint, right? I don't think so that there is a majority or there is a section, right, of the IWC or just wrestling fans who feel that exact way, right? There is no comparison from Vince and Tony, just like there is no comparison to Triple H and Tony, right? If I was to compare Tony to anybody, it would be an indie company, right? An indie company's promoter, booker, CEO, whatever you want to call it. But here's the thing. I don't think it's necessarily comparing him to Vince more than it is saying, as a boss, you have to look at things differently. You know what I mean? That's if I was a boss, like I feel like I would have to look at things differently. I don't have a problem being cool with you, but at the end of the day, the business is the business. This is what's bringing in the money. Granted, he's rich already. He has all of these other ventures that he does have that does bring in money. But if AEW is your main focus, you have to start doing different things. Because I don't know how many times I've heard, oh, AEW is going to fail in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years. Okay. But if you keep going down certain routes, it is going to fail. You are still a new company in the grand scheme of the wrestling world.
That's a private company too.
That too. And they don't need to go public.
No,
not yet. At least, not anytime. Soon.
I was talking to a friend about that. I was like, that's the worst thing that could happen to AEW if they go public, like right now, especially.
Because, yeah, for sure.
Like you have to understand, with publicly traded companies, he's not the only person that's like running it.
Yeah,
like, there would be so many different logistical changes that wrestling fans, number one, would not understand, and number two, would not be able to handle. Like he would have to actively start cutting people.
I mean, look at what happened. Look at the explanation that you had to give when the E went public, right? Like there's just too much. But to sum everything up, he really does need help, and to me, it can't be internal. It has to be an external force brought in to essentially regulate. Like at the end of the day, I think that's what it is. So let's switch off. Let's go from one company to another. So it seems that the Triple H era is super official now. Endeavor, or there has been reports that Endeavor has taken Vince out of day-to-days, out of major roles of the WWE, and that Triple H is now running the show, period. He's not CEO, but he has major say, and there's not going to be many people who argue with him about these situations. So my question to you guys is, we've already seen a lot of changes already, right? I think it's been about a year, or soon to be a year, since Triple H has really taken over.
Debatable.
Anyways,
debatable.
No, listen. Since the announcement that Triple H has been in charge, it's been like a year and a half. Like that's true. So my question to you guys is, if Endeavor is trusting Triple H, where do you see the WWE going, as in content, as in evolving, as in taking the next step?
Well, I think that what we're going to see, as far as like the content and the changes and it quote unquote taking the next step, is like number one, I think that Triple H is smart enough to borrow from the past in a way that, like, okay, this was fan positive, this worked, like, let's use this idea. War Games, I think it's a perfect example of that, right? Like you would testing it out in NXT and it was such a hit. They do the double ring stuff. Now they have no qualms over doing this. You see a lot of old WCW branded pay-per-view names for NXT, like Halloween Havoc, Great American Bash, stuff like that. I think we might see a lot more of that on the main roster too. Secondly, I think the in-ring product will probably move to that like faster, like more athletic style that you see a lot more in AEW. I think that the in-ring product, you see matches breathe a lot more. I think that the title defenses are a lot more common now. Like you see them like on pay-per-views and stuff. A perfect example of that is like Bronson Reed versus Gunther, right? There's two big guys having a really solid match on TV for a prestigious championship, and it came across great, right? Both guys look really good. Like I think you don't get as many start and stops now, and I think that was like the main thing under the recent Vince McMahon like regime, that you see like, oh, we're going to push this guy, and then it's like, oh, it stops, and like you see vignettes for this person, then it stops. Like I think things are way more consistent now. Like things are like building slowly. And one thing that I notice now more than ever, you get so many different moving parts in like one story. And I think like they've been doing a good job as of late. I would say for like the past month and a half of like getting the women really involved like on television and the product and stuff. Like for example, I think it's really smart that they're kind of using like the NXT championship kind of like as an intercontinental championship. It's like a secondary championship. Yeah. And they're using Becky Lynch to get it over. Like Becky Lynch went down to NXT, had a really great match with Tiffany Stratton. She became the champion. Now she's doing like the open challenge, like the Cena thing. Tegan Knox stepped up. Natalia stepped up. Xia Li is like throwing her hat in the race, like confronting her and stuff. Lyra Valkyria is challenging for the championship. Yeah, Indy Hartwell is going to be challenging for the championship. Lyra Valkyria is going to be challenging in Halloween Havoc next week. So they've been getting a lot of different moving parts as far as like their stories and stuff. Like, you see the Judgment Day stuff, like cross-acting with the Bloodline, and like Drew McIntyre is involved, and he's kind of like turning with Sami Zayn involved and stuff like that. And he has his own issues with like Jey Uso, who's teaming with Cody Rhodes. It's a lot of different moving parts for like a lot of like one singular story. And it's kind of like everybody's like kind of flowing in all of this. So I think like you'll see more of that stuff where it like branches off into something else. And it's like a smooth, seamless transition, right? So I think the product is going to be improving from that standpoint. Like I can't wait to see where he's going to go with it.
No, definitely. Shout out to Sloan, part of the CBD network on Sucio Boys. Shout out to the whole gang. Side note, we just started the CDB network. Just started Sucio Sports, to which I'm gonna try to get this guy over here on so you could chop it up with Jermaine and Keys. But yeah, man, I completely agree with you. I think that whole stop go situation is definitely. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. You're right. You are absolutely right. He is the co-owner of the CBD network / multimedia. You are right, sir. I will give you your credit. And plus, y'all have already seen him on the show, so we'll get him back sometime soon too. We're gonna have a whole gang in here. It's gonna be great. That's gonna be crazy.
Really quickly. Just a shout out to him. Thank you for the opportunity of even having us on and part of this network.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
We're beyond grateful for it without question. So just thank you.
For sure, man. Listen, it really is a team. So, but look, when we have you guys on, we'll do a whole interview thing and then we'll chop it up like we always chop it up. Excuse me. But no, I completely agree with you, man. I think Triple H was a wrestler. You know what I mean? He wrestled for so long. And I think the way he really is exactly what he said he was, right? He's the game. He's a student of the game. Like, to be honest, if I would have to compare us, that would be Stretch. Stretch would be the Triple H of the group because he truly is a student of anything that he's interested in. And he studies and he evaluates and he uses it to his advantage. That's what Triple H does. Triple H has a way to bring out the best in people, even when he's not in the ring with them, right? I don't know how many times we've heard so many people talk about Triple H and bring, and just say how appreciative they are of him, and how the feel of the backstage is so different and just uplifting, and it's incredible at the end of the day, right? So I think when it comes to the future of the WWE, it's in great hands. I think everybody from back of house, front of house, which is, camera guys, sound guys, in-ring performers, backstage talent, or commentators. Even, and obviously we could tell, right? Even the upper echelon, which is now Endeavor or TKO, right? Is TKO technically? That's what the merger is now.
Publicly traded name, yeah. TKO.
They trust Triple H with this entire brand, with this entire company, and that is a good thing. Strike.
DDP, what you said.
I know. I thought about it.
Oh, good thing.
That's not a bad thing. That is a good thing. Okay, I don't have fake teeth.
Hold on 1 second.
One Mississippi.
No, I had
Sorry,
to move the
I
mic,
can't
so
help
make
it.
sure I mic'd it.
No, you good, bro?
Well, this was a topic that I did want to speak about, so I should have a lot of stuff to say. Especially seeing that, they really just recently announced that Vince has no hands on this thing at all. Endeavor gave him the full reins. You are completely seeing Triple H's mark on these shows. You're seeing a lot more women's wrestling. You're seeing a lot more intertangled stories with the women as well. You are seeing literally a widespread of talent, whether it's people he brought back or people that's already been involved on TV already. He's making the bigger talent. When I say bigger talent, I mean literally the bigger talent actually look and feel like dominating talent on the roster. Yeah. Bronson Reed and Gunther had an amazing, well, it's Gunther anyway, but we know Bronson Reed to have amazing matches, especially his stretch in New Japan and outside of WWE. He's had great matches, but to see the match that they had, especially just letting big men do what big men do, which is basically kill each other for our entertainment. I think that it's been a step in the right direction. Having so many women involved with this women's World Championship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so I mean, technically both the Women's World Championship and the NXT Women's Championship.
Well, okay, yeah. So you've had multiple women involved in both of those titles. All of them, all of them,
yeah.
Even the
definitely.
WWE Women's Championship, yes.
Yeah.
Across all of the brands, you see that multiple women are running for this belt, or they're gunning for the tag team belts now. They're starting to build a lot more tag teams. They're starting to do different things. It feels like a complete show. We didn't have Roman for weeks, and they have been building LA Knight as a megastar, as he is, properly ordained on the show. You're building all of these other talents. Ricochet is on TV. Shinsuke is looking like a maniacal villain for once. He's doing the damn thing. I honestly, I can't say much more than what I've already been saying. This is what WWE needed. I can go further and say, look at what they've already done for Brian Pillman Jr. Look what they've already done for Jade Cargill. I mean, come on now. They're basically showing you that they don't play when it comes to production. They don't play when they have these amount of toys to play with.
Yeah.
They are going to make these people feel like stars. And unfortunately, that is what the other company at this moment is lacking.
Yeah. To add to that point, real quick, I'm sorry. Add to that point, and it's not just these women's titles, right? it's the World Heavyweight title. Like, granted, not necessarily the WWE Universal title, because you want to focus, you want to have that focus
I
for
have a
that
gripe with
one-on-one,
that.
right?
That's why I didn't mention that yet. But go ahead.
I mean, it is what it is. But what it's doing is that this is the part that makes it feel like the Attitude Era again. This is the part that makes it feel like the early Ruthless Aggression era. Is that there's many people who are vocal or being vocal about being a world champion, about being the IC champion, about being NXT champion. Like, this is what was lacking, because it's great to have that one person, I'm gunning, I want to win. But if you don't have the conflict of having multiple people gun for a title, it tends to feel like it falls off, depending on the situation, right? And depending on the wrestler, depending on the storyline. It's important. Like, we always hear from talent, if you're not there to be world champion, what are you there for?
What are you there for? Yeah.
So for me, it's not only world champion, but it's also championship in general. If you're a tag team and if you're not going for the tag team titles, what are you there for? Like, if in the back of your mind, especially in the WWE, which we know is the top wrestling company, period, regardless of if you like that fact or not, that is the truth. The WWE is the top company in the world, period. If you're not gunning for the WWE World Universal title, if you're not gunning for the heavyweight title, if you're not gunning for either one of the women's titles, hell, if you're in NXT and you're not gunning for any of those titles, if you're a tag team and you don't want to beat the living hell out of the Judgment Day, who are currently the tag champions, then what are you there for? Why are you there? This is what makes wrestling exciting. And Triple H does not want another quote unquote dead era. We're not going back to that.
Right.
It's about growth. It's about creating new stars. It's about wanting the best from everyone, regardless of where you are on the card. And I think that's what people tend to forget.
Yeah.
I also think, and that's a good point that Stryker made. And I think that, we asked earlier if Tony Khan needed help. I think out of all the things that he needs, he might need a talent relations department if they don't have one.
I think they do.
Do they?
I don't think it's a department. I think there's a couple people that handle
advisors?
it. So if I'm not mistaken, that
is if they don't have one. Again, all this is speculation.
Well, Christopher Daniels is head of talent relations, and then I believe I keep want to say Sean Dean. I think Sean Dean handles some of talent relations also.
With
the black people.
No, it's not just Jesus. Anyways,
he said it.
I think. Yeah, I think they do, but it's not on a grand scale like how they have it.
Not how to. Well, but I will say that, I think Strike brings up a great point where, and I said this to a friend of mine also in a couple other spaces. Right, their problem is making new stars, because what they do is they're in a spot where they take talent from other promotions or people you've heard of, but they rely on the reputation so much that the talent has built. They don't give you a reason to care about that talent in their space.
Absolutely.
So it's even look at Mystico, right? They have a match with Mystico and Rocky Romero. We know these people because we're wrestling fans, obviously, right?
Crazy.
So we know who Rocky Romero is. We know who Mystico is. We know who Mystico was in WWE. So that also helps. But at the same token, it's this match is being wrestled for the strength of who these two people are in a wrestling space. You're not giving anybody else a reason to care about these two people outside of that. This person's wrestled here. They're like the top star in this company. And this person's a well-respected veteran who's wrestled in Japan. He's wrestled everywhere. Why don't you know this person? Listen, I don't know him because you haven't explained who it is. It's like if I was a professor and I asked you to write me a book report and you tell me, well, you already know what the book is about. Why do I have to write you the report?
Yeah.
You have to prove to me, right, like that I know what I'm talking about. So it's like, that's their problem. They rely on so much outside talent where it's like this person debuts. It's like, oh, this person, you already know who this person is. They're a big name. You should already love them. It's like you don't really give them too much of a reason to care outside of that. And that's when they die off after like 3 months.
and even to add to that real quick too, before we jump to the non-wrestling topic, the promo that they did with Rocky, explaining his and Mystico's feud, and it really being one of the best feuds ever in Mexico. The way they set that up was an amazing promo, but what Stryker said was absolutely right. I mean, not Stryker, excuse me. What Stretch said was absolutely right. Why do they care? Who's going to care after this match is over? That's the question.
Nobody.
Right? We're going to care because we enjoy their work. We know, we've seen their work multiple spaces, multiple times. We know Rocky Romero is great is cool with the best friends, things like that. But after this match, then what? Just like with Swerve. I'll use Swerve as an example real quick. Swerve had that amazing match with Hangman Page to lose to Bryan Danielson. And I'm not knocking Danielson by no means, but you're supposed to be creating these stars.
Mm-hmm.
There was no reason Swerve should have lost. Now, granted, if he lost, it would have been a heel versus heel situation. We wouldn't have the story that we have now. But the bottom line is you're trying to create this star. Why was this? And on top of that, why was this match for the TNT title and not the World Heavyweight title? Yes, Danielson doesn't want the heavyweight title. We understand that. But why not put Swerve in a prominent position where he can go, well, after you have this match with Jay White, regardless of who's champion, I'm coming for it.
Right.
So either way, I think there definitely was better ways of handling it. But you
could have got Ricky Starks involved. We had Collision where they're all in ring and doing this cross story promo stuff that they're doing. Like, come on.
I think they've been doing a better. I don't mean to cut you off. I think they've been doing a better job of presenting Swerve. Like, I think he has amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, he comes out and it's like, Prince Nana was dancing and stuff like that, which they want to get their heel manager over as a face. Go right ahead. That's another thing that I hate.
Right. But I mean, the dance is supposed to come off as annoying, but we love it. We love this shit.
That's another gripe that I have with AEW. It's like, it's all like inside jokes and memes. Like, his dance, like they're trying to get, like, he's supposed to be a heel manager of like a heel faction, and he comes out and does this dance, and everybody cheers him for doing the dance, and it's like everybody does the dance with him.
It's all over the place.
In what world would a heel want to do that? But that's neither here nor there.
I'll give it another side of it.
That's the only thing.
I'll give another side of it. Swerve's character is built on the praise of his character. So what is his character without the praise? Whether it's self-praise or if it's the crowd cheering him on.
Well, I think it helps him.
It's a narcissist. That is a narcissist thing, basically.
I think it helps him in the respect when Nana was doing the dance and he walked out and he did like this. Like, he stopped it. He waved his finger and he stopped it.
Okay.
That made him even more of a heel because people wanted to see the dance.
Okay, right. That makes sense.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
By not giving the people what they want, makes you a bigger heel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's like people cutting, hypothetically, right? Cody coming out and right before he does the whoa, he gets jumped. Or the second whoa, it gets cut off by somebody else's music. Or how many times have we had The Rock go, finally, the interruption? That is heel work 101.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but definitely. But all I say is to say, like, AEW does a piss poor job at creating new stars. Like,
Yeah, and
I agree.
present so many
they should have
people.
stars all over the place. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or even with Swerve, even with that match, they could have had Swerve losing a DQ or something. Like make it something
Just not
despicable.
clean. Yeah.
Make it
Yeah.
something despicable. Like have him go completely irate and say, you know what? I lost the match. I lost my cool, but I beat the shit out of Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, for sure. So let's jump
Have
to
Nana dance on the body. Like do this is
that's
heel shit.
crazy.
This is
That
heel
is
shit.
wild. Not tap dancing on a dead body. That's crazy. Um
I agree.
let's switch off. Let's talk some gaming. Tomorrow is the 20th, and one of the most highly anticipated games of the year, if not the last 2 years, 3 years, since Miles Morales came out, is Marvel Spider-Man 2 for the PS5. So there's a lot of there is a lot of stuff already out there on the internet. I already saw that there's a video.
Crazy shit.
I saw in a video that there's already the full story out. Like, listen,
people got the game early.
Yeah, I know. But we're not spoiling anything. We're just going to be speaking about
all I'll say is I seen some things fly. That's all I'll say.
Jesus. So we're going to be speaking about whatever we saw from the trailers, things from like IGN first, things that we've seen from interviews, and our expectations of Spider-Man. Being the resident Spider-Man fanatic.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Only me. The fuck. Look, man, I just think Insomniac has been improving on this IP. Spider-Man 1 for the PS4 was incredible. It really was. And it really did. The fact that Marvel let them have their own reins to kind of just go and create their own story and create their own universe, they were able to do so much. Miles's dad being the one that died, being one of the major things. And Aunt May passing. And listen, this is the end. This is Spider-Man 1, so there is no spoiler warning. Y'all should have been played this. But there's an incredible feel to the way that they're world building. And all they did was evolve it in Miles Morales. The story for Miles Morales was great. The heartache was amazing. The way that they like I said, the way that they're world building and the way that they're upgrading on everything is nothing short but wonderful. So at the end of Spider-Man 1, we saw that Harry was in a tube, and we saw that the symbiote is on him. So we definitely know that Venom is in Spider-Man 2, voiced by one of the greatest voices in entertainment history. But it's going to be insane. We know Sandman is in the game. Lizard is incredible, super oversized too. We've seen that from the trailers. The traversal, Kraven is one of the big bads. The fast travel, we've seen clips of that. That's incredible.
The load times are made. It loads?
Yeah, the load times are nuts.
Nuts, ridiculous.
Even
the traversal is another thing as well. That how fast you can swing through.
Yeah, not only just that, but adding the web wings brings a whole nother aspect to the game. The fact that you can see the other whatever Spider-Man you're playing as, the fact that you can see the other Spider-Man swinging through the city, fighting crime. You can join them to do things. Sometimes they'll just come out of nowhere and kick somebody and fly and swing off. Like once again, it's about the world building, and these are things that happen in Marvel Comics all the time. Yep. It's called crossovers. Even within each, I don't want to call it universe, but each comic, right? Like you can have the main X-Men and then have X-Force come in for something, just for the issue and then go off. Or you can have Doctor Strange and then out of nowhere the Hulk is involved in this one issue, or the Avengers, and then freaking the Eternals come out of nowhere. Like this is what Marvel is. And for them to translate that so well to the video game is what gets me so excited for this game. And plus, who the hell knows? And side note, we already know that the costumes are fucking on point. We knew that from the first game.
I really want the was it the Brooklyn 2099 or is it
that shit is crazy.
I want that, and I want the Arachnite costume.
Yeah,
that's so far. That's the ones I wanted.
Well, also, I think it's called Shadow Spider. When Miles ended up going to a weird world, that suit is crazy. I always pronounce this wrong, but the Tokatsu suit, which essentially is the Power Rangers
sounds right.
/ Kamen Rider.
It's Tonkatsu.
What he said.
Right.
That Miles suit looks crazy.
Do they have Japanese Spider-Man too?
That suit was in the first one.
Okay. I don't remember.
So probably not. But even like Miles's suit looking like a spider version of the Dragon Shield, I think was pretty cool. Yeah, man. Spider-Man 2 is no spoilers, people. All right, it might be a while till I play it.
I'm with the missus, so I might not get a chance till Monday. But I can't wait to see where the story goes. Personally, like I've been loving the story since the first one, and we're supposed to be getting some Harry Osborn here, so waiting on that.
Yeah, man. And honestly, I don't.
Harold Theophilus Osborn, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry.
That is his middle name. Look it up.
Harry C. Osborn. HTO.
Osborn. I'm not kidding. I looked it up the other day.
Nah, bro.
I'm so serious.
Theophilus? No.
Theophilus.
Harold Theophilus Osborn.
Stan Lee with these names, man. Oh my God.
That might not be Stan. That might be somebody else.
Jack Kirby, maybe.
Nah, that feels recent. That was like that sounds like somebody that hated Harry. Now I'm intrigued. Norman Osborn. Oh, he doesn't have a middle name. Ooh. Roderick King. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I can't. Apparently, Roderick Kingsley is Norman's son. I quit. That's another story for another day.
Okay. I don't want to go ahead.
That was the butler, right? From no, Smite was different, but there was a Kingsley. I'm trying to remember whose servant he was.
He wasn't anybody's servant. Kingsley was the Hobgoblin.
Yeah, he's a Hobgoblin.
Okay, there we go. Right. But then, I mean, it's cool though if you think about it.
Nope, terrible.
Green Goblin and Hobgoblin actually related. That makes sense.
Since the fuck went, can we talk about the game?
I mean, they're messing around with the universe right now.
I'm starting to get stressed. I'm starting to.
But I'm just saying they're messing around with the universe right now. So I mean, it can be anything.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm straight. Thanks. But what are you excited about?
Venom, duh. I don't give a shit about anybody else. Give me Venom.
Yeah, I think and I don't want to call it a downside. I think one of the things that gets me a little, and I'll say disappointed, is that you won't be able to co-op. That this is strictly a single player game. And not that it doesn't necessarily piss me off, not at all, honestly, because I know the game is still going to be amazing. But I think a co-op feel would have been really cool in this type of atmosphere, especially since also you can go to Brooklyn and Queens now. You know, go down to Coney Island, go to Forest Hills. Yeah, I think co-op would have been really cool. But who knows? That might be in 3. Maybe they would do a spin-off where there's some type of multiversal, situation. They could do something like that.
I mean,
but then you got to make the world super big, and I'm super stoked about. Listen, if you could do it with Grand Theft Auto and have that run for over a decade, you can do it with Spider-Man. All right.
I mean, the rumor is that this is attached to Spider-Verse movies, so we'll see.
No, what they were saying about that is that there's a mission that has a multiversal aspect of it, but it's not like something like that. The whole thing has nothing to do with Spider-Verse. So let's get to the main event. The main event of today's show is the PWI Women's 250. Every year they come out. PWI comes out with a few lists. One being the men's, the other being women's. And they do a tag team.
Yep.
And every year is anticipated to see who they put as the top wrestlers of those specific lists.
Yep.
This year.
Which WWE wrestler is it this year?
Well, last year it wasn't a WWE wrestler.
Surprisingly.
But this year it was. Number 1 is Rhea Ripley.
Mami!
Rhea has been killing the game. Killing it right now. With all the work that she's been able to do across the board. Her being the one where they switch. So technically she is the first women's world champion. Man, listen, I'm really happy for Rhea. I think it's well deserved. And even now, here's the thing, right? I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't understand why Rhea's number 1. She really doesn't defend the title like that." I get it, but at the same time, she's been so prominent in so many different storylines. She's been so prominent when it comes to the Judgment Day. She's been so prominent when it comes to her story with Dom. Look, as much as people dislike Dom, this story, it seems like there are so many stories and she's right there in the middle of it. And I think that alone, it's her use that makes her number 1. And this is outside of her just whooping ass.
Right.
Because she does whoop ass. Like that is not that is not an understatement. All right. So I'm happy for Rhea Ripley.
You know what I will say? She's more used like Roman. I'll put up 2 fingers. She's more used like Roman, and EO is more like Rollins in this case. EO's having a lot more matches, a lot more showcases of, different talent. Same with Rollins. But Rhea is more so the centerpiece for stories. She's pushing ahead different talent in different ways, but it's more prominent in the sense of like, who's the next person in line? Who's going to beat her? She's so dominant. You had to put all 3 of the strongest women, or so far that they can muster, to face her at Crown Jewel. Like, it's really more so a story of the dominance. Oh yeah, there's a fatal 5-way. Sorry, so 4 of the strongest women against her. Like it's really just a show of dominance. So I think they treat them similar, her and Roman, and you have Io and Seth because you know what they can do. But same like Seth, Io needed time to get where she's at now,
Mhm.
where people are now seeing her make those match after match after match, as opposed to Rollins, who was losing for damn near 2 years, and now he's back at a point where he's having, that run that we know him to be in terms of the workhorse. So I think you have those parallels to those two champions on both ends.
Stretch number 2 and number 3. Number 2 is the current IWGP Women's Champion, Julia, right?
Mhm.
Julia, or is it
Julia,
Julia?
yeah, she's
Julia.
an Italian Japanese professional wrestler.
And number
Italian.
3
Oh.
is Bianca Belair, my daughter's favorite.
So I had to do
How do you feel about those two?
So I had to do some research, right? So given the time, like the testing time, the criteria is from July 1st, 2002 to July 1st, 2003, 23, excuse me.
Yeah.
I think it's warranted.
Right.
Because Julia did a lot.
That's what I was telling you. She's going crazy. She was rolling.
She did a lot in that 1 year period because she was on top of Stardom, then transitioned to New Japan, and then did well over there. And she's the leader of her own stable in Stardom, Donna Del Mundo, which is Women of the World. So that's a lot to be impressive of. And Bianca Belair did a lot. Like,
right.
I think what hurt her is like just like the tail end of that period because she honestly could have been number one. But
but I think because Rhea turned it around, I think Rhea having honestly the better match of the two, IMO, in terms of the match she had with Charlotte and Bianca faced. Refresh my memory. I forgot who she faced for WrestleMania.
I'm blanking out. Oscar.
Was it Oscar? Okay, right. But yeah, I'm saying like to have that.
Oh no,
and then,
Rhea definitely had the better match.
Right, but I'm saying like just the rise of the Judgment Day in that period of time, and then for Bianca being away for 3 months after that period. I would say 3 months, but maybe like a month or so after that, and seeing Rhea just rise up like that, I can definitely agree that Rhea should be number one.
I see what he did there.
Rise of the Judgment Day. Yeah,
I see what he did there.
So,
yeah.
Hold on a second.
For what? Oh, I was like, what happened? So I'm just gonna run down the list to number 10. Number 4 was Jamie Hayter. She had a great run as AEW Women's Champion. Number 5 is Tam Nakano, who's also she's out here just crushing the game. Number 6 is Athena, the current ROH Women's World Champion. She's out here breaking records. She's out here every time she's been in a match, man. They're really letting her just do her thing, and I think this is something that a lot of fans have been waiting for her. Number 7 is Deonna Purrazzo, whom, I mean, come on, man. She really is one of the best wrestlers in the world. She's another one who just kills it every time she's in the ring and on the mic, honestly. Number 8 is Willow Nightingale, to which I am so happy and so proud of her. And she has truly been able to become a star in so many different places. Once again, man, she's just out here killing it. Number 9 is Camille, who is she still the NWA Women's Champion? I'm honestly not 100% sure.
Blanking. I think she is. I'm blanking.
Then if she is, then that is an insane run that she's been on. And number 10 is Jordan Grace, who is just someone else who every time she gets in the ring, man, she kills it. And not only with the women, but with the men also.
It's Women's World Champions Kenzie Page.
Oh, okay. So she lost it fairly recently, I'll say. And then look, man, even if you go down the list, right? Asuka, Toni Storm, Masha Slamovich, Jade Cargill, Roxanne Perez, Kairi, Miyu Yamashita, Chris Statlander, Misuki, Saya Kamatani, Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey. Okay, so here's where one of my dilemmas lie. Ronda Rousey's number 22, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's over Trinity, to which I slightly understand it because of time frame. She's over Io. She's over Tiffany Stratton. She's over Hikaru Shida. And she's over Becky Lynch. I don't think Ronda Rousey should be number 22, in my opinion.
Disagree. That's me. I disagree with you.
I would put her higher only because of the prominence of where she was in comparison to some of the women on the list. But I have no gripe with her ranking. I have more of a gripe with Roxanne Perez not being in the top 10.
That's understandable.
Correct. Absolutely. That's more of my gripe. I think Cora Jade should be much higher. Cora Jade's like in the 60s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, she is.
For what she did in that time frame, yeah. Agree.
Somebody else, man, that I think that should be real higher is Trisha Dora. Trisha Dora is number 57, and she literally just lost, like this past week, just lost the Pan African title. She's had an over 1,000-day reign with that title. She's had that title longer than Roman has had his. And not by much, but I believe it was 1,400 days.
You know who just took it off of her, right?
Yeah. No, not Darius. Darius is not the champion, sir.
Is he not?
No. It's not AJ Gray. It's oh my god. I'm so mad I'm blanking out. Hold on 1 second. I got you.
He is. He's Pan-African World Diaspora Champion.
No, I'm telling you he's not.
I just won. I saw him posted the other day.
No, bro, I'm telling you he is not the champion. I was just looking at it.
He must have just lost it then.
Yeah, I just saw him post about it winning it.
No. He said that he should win it.
Okay.
Or because after this is terrible. I'm so sorry, folks.
I will say this. For a list that heavily pushes Japan and America, to have Trish anywhere.
I read the post wrong. Never mind.
To have Trish anywhere above 60 is still great. Because
absolutely.
Really and truly, she's been like, we know what she does on the indie scene, but to even have her on TV, to have matches on ROH and stuff of that nature, like
shout out
that's
to
pretty damn big. So
she lost it to Suge D, dude.
Yeah.
Really?
I did. Yeah, I read the post wrong.
Yeah. That's why I was like, it's definitely not. It definitely was not Carter, because I would have been told y'all that.
That's not who I expected.
Listen, it happened. Well, I saw when he challenged, but remember, she's also signed to ROH with the Infiltrate. Shout out to them. I'm still waiting for that rap battle between Charlie Bravo and Austin Gunn. I need it to happen. I'll host it. I need it to happen. All right.
Carly Bravo and Austin, really?
Yeah, Austin can spit. Don't get it twisted. Austin can rhyme his ass off. But I think once again, lists are very objective. All right, on a multitude of levels, and everybody, not everyone is gonna like every pick. Let's just put that out there. If we did a list of something, we did what was it? The list of the greatest sitcom, right? That's what we did.
Soundtracks.
Soundtrack, yeah, not sitcom.
And Stretch and I highly disagreed with Stryker or QS, but
QS.
yeah, still do.
The Space Jam
Absolutely.
debate. Yep.
It's legendary. Lion King should have got father also, but this, neither here nor there. But yeah, there's, once again, we're just happy for everyone who made the list.
Of course.
Somebody else I wanted to shout out was Rufus Lala. She was on the list. Look, I mean, I could keep going. We're really happy for you, for the ladies, and more than anything else, we can't wait to see where you guys go next. We're excited to see the matches you put on, who you're going to wrestle, where you're going to show up. There's nothing but excitement right now. And I think that is the best thing about the wrestling community right now, the wrestling world, is that anyone can really go anywhere. And once again, man, between new matchups, between old rivalries becoming renewed, man, the sky's the limit for so many people right now.
Yep.
And, like I said, I think I could speak for all four of us when I say we're ready. We're ready to see what's next for everyone and for all companies. Any last words, gents?
I will say thank you to AEW for lighting that flame, in the sense of now people are looking to sign wrestling promotions for TV deals.
Yeah.
As of
NWA
today,
just
we
got
just
one.
Oh, we didn't even talk
Right.
about that. Yeah.
Right.
NWA getting the CW TV deal is actually huge, because that can pretty much get millions of views at any time, depending on what they're offering.
Yeah, they have two things signed. One is a normal TV deal, which I'm assuming will be Power unless they change it, or and they have a deal for like behind the scenes stuff. So
nice. So they're gonna get a behind the scenes show like AEW, was it All Access?
Something. I don't think there's any real descriptions yet.
Right.
All I know is that it's behind the scenes, and that could be a multitude of things.
Well, they're pretty I mean, I believe it's owned by Nexstar, which is, I believe, Canadian. So I mean, if they can manage to make it a lot less Hicksville on NWA and do a lot more,
That's
international,
crazy, so
I
know what you're saying.
I'm a straight shooter.
Wild.
Call me a cowboy. But,
not like they're not in Hollywood, but okay.
But it's just, to me, you had that abysmal run of a guy I will not mention, to now having EC3 as your champion, and that can
Stretch, do it with me.
No.
Hey. All right, folks. I was doing a little claw. The claw. Sorry.
Yeah, no. But to have EC3 as your champion, you had Camille with a great run that I definitely missed when I wasn't watching.
A good foundation.
I miss having the Hex on NWA. I don't know if they're still wrestling there at the moment, but I need to see the Hex
I believe
more.
Allison K is or will be on ROH. I think she was on there tonight, actually. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I mean, if Allison K is on one place, you know who else is coming with her. So I just need the Hex, baby. That's all I need. But honestly, if they can just build. So remember, LA Knight had an amazing run in NWA. Nick Aldis, which we forgot to mention during the Triple H era stuff, Nick Aldis is now the SmackDown general manager, and that's an amazing position for him, because he has the credentials of a producer. He has the credentials of an editor, a director. He does all this shit. So that is amazing to put him in the company that he's always wanted to be in, but in a prominent position like that. That's amazing.
And let's not forget, man, he is one of the, if not the main reason why NWA is back on the map.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, he was killing it in the NWA. He was killing it. This is like the NWA as we know it now is like kind of like an offshoot, because they had like the NWA like Hollywood thing,
Yeah.
Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and it like branched off into its own thing. Like, because like back before the NWA, before Corgan got it, like everybody broke off from the NWA at one point, right? Because they were still doing the territory thing, and he started there. And the fun fact for a lot of people, he was the last person that Paul Bear managed. And he was like super over on the indies. Like, you go back and look. Like, him and Paul Bear had a lot of chemistry.
You talking about LA Knight?
Yeah.
Wait, LA Knight?
Yeah. No, LA Knight was managed by Paul Bear.
Sorry. Last person managed by Paul Bear. And they had really good chemistry because like Paul Bear he obviously wasn't doing like Paul Bear. He was doing like Percy Pringle, which was
Percy Pringle,
from, like Texas and the independence and stuff and the territory days. But like he had like super serious chemistry with LA Knight. LA Knight got like super duper over like in that space, like the NWA space, and he like parlayed that into Impact, and now he got like the NXT and WWE, and the rest is history, right? But
it's vice versa. He was in Impact first, and then he did the NWA stuff as well.
No, he was in NWA,
first.
Really?
And then he went to Impact and went back.
And he came back.
He was in NWA in a faction.
Yeah, he was in the NWA first. He was Sean Ricker in the NWA.
Okay, yes, okay, gotcha.
Sean Ricker in the NWA. Then he went and became Eli Drake.
There we go.
Took that name with him, like
and then he came back to NWA afterwards. Right. Okay,
run was his second run in the NWA.
Okay,
with that being said, we do actually have huge news. Next week, we will have a show. We're going to have a show on the 26th.
That's right.
And there's a specific reason why. There's a company out there called MLW.
That's right.
20-year company. Been around for a long time.
Speak on it.
They've had world champions like Shane Douglas.
That's right.
Low Key. Swerve Strickland. Hammerstone.
That's right.
But next week.
You're missing one.
Next week.
You're missing one great before we get to the current greats.
I'm just naming people.
Come on, you can't not mention Jacob Fatu.
Then absolutely can't forget the great Jacob Fatu. You are absolutely right.
Come on.
But next week, what month we in? November 26th.
No,
at 8:30.
Bro.
October,
oh shit! It is October. I'm tired. All right, I'm gonna do this again. Next week, October 26th at 8:30 p.m. We are going to have the world champion of MLW, Alex Kane, on the show. So make sure you guys are there. All right, we're really excited to have him on. He became a very good friend of mine, man, and I cannot wait. Oh man, but we can't wait to have you on the show, brother. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Gonna have a lot of questions for you, man. And look, it's just Alex Kane being Alex Kane. He's who he is on the screen is who he is off the screen. But he is a great person. Can't wait to have you on, bro. And once again, guys, next week, Alex Kane is on the show. So with that being said, let's do what we do. And doesn't he usually go first?
Usually.
So as we know.
First.
Oh, well.
Usually. You can follow.
Oh, well. Well, he's not there. Oh, you do. Oh, my God.
You follow him on Instagram and his Twitter, Forever Thiefing. You can see his origin story, how he's bit by a radioactive soul singer.
That's why we don't take you anywhere.
Yeah, you follow me down there. That's my stuff right there. You can follow me or don't. I don't care. So what?
That's him being him.
So what?
It's me, Stryker Dragoon. Once again, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all the same. YouTube at Stryker Dragoon 131. I know I haven't been streaming. There's been a lot of changes at the house, so I'm getting back into the groove. I actually streamed some Modern Warfare last night because apparently they suckered me in. It's Halloween. They got Spawn. They got Skeletor. They have Alucard. They have Ash Williams coming as well. I'm buying skins, so I gotta play Call of Duty. And it's crazier that they have Keith David as the voice of Al Simmons and Spawn. Yeah, you're doing cartoon. I thought they would still have like Michael Jai White too. Like they'll do one version for that. But it's been fun. I like the Halloween theme. They have like all these demonic symbols in the maps now. I'm like, it's just Halloween. It's Spawn. It's crazy shit as usual. But I'll be streaming that. Honkai Star Rail for all of the weebs out there. Honkai Star Rail is on PS5, so I'm going to be streaming that as well. Not touching Spider-Man yet. I'm going to gift that to a friend. I should have gifted it already. Shit. I'm going to gift that to a friend of my stream. Hi, Shan. How are you? I'm going to gift that to him probably a little bit soon, but what else do I have to stream? I have mad shit to stream. Cyberpunk's not done yet. I got to stream Cyberpunk and something else. Oh, Armored Core. Got to finish Armored Core. And Tekken's this weekend. Totally forgot. Tekken 8 closed beta tests this weekend as well. So you'll be seeing me stream this weekend. You'll see me streaming different shit. So just come through.
Be on the lookout. And as always, you can follow me, K Marvel, both on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I have to update that. At Mr. Marvel 87. Also, you can follow the mental health show that I'm so happy to be a part of with my brother Rodney Harris. A different angle, both on Instagram and Twitter at 88pod 2023. Also, you can make sure to catch us a different angle.podbean.com for all of the episodes and the backlogs for that. Also, make sure you follow us and the CBD network that we are a part of. So happy to be a part of them once again. You can be sure to check them out on all your favorite streaming platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, amongst a lot of others. And also make sure if you want to watch old episodes of the Four Corners of Commentary, when you go on our YouTube, you can check it out all there. Also,
there's playlists. Go to playlists. There's season 1. There's season 2. They'll be editing. We'll add in all the season 2 episodes. We'll add in season 3 episodes as well. So that way you're able to access everything. Please like all the videos. Please subscribe to the channel. Share it to your friends. If you like a specific episode, please comment on it. We always trying to beat the algorithm. These companies try to stop people from, going that extra distance, getting that easy money. But help us, and we give it back to the community as we always do. So.
And make sure to follow the Four Corners of Commentary on YouTube at the Council of Commentary, also on Instagram at the Council of Commentary, and on X and or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at CO Commentary, and also follow us on TikTok at Council of Commentary. Hashtag for I'm blanking out right now. For COC, also 4 to 4. Why is my thing back? Jeez. Guys, thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We are 3 of your Four Corners of Commentary. And we out. Peace.
I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got it. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough Cause time. I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah,